Welcome all of you to the webinar. We are live on Facebook. And dear parents, you can leave your questions on the comment box below. We'll try and answer all the doubts. Me, Simple, who has been associated with Kids Castle for the last 6 years, and all of us here who have been dedicatedly participating in all the curriculum and anything of related to the education, we will be here trying and resolving all your doubts, all your questions. So, the first question, should I shoot, sir? There are a lot of questions that have come from the parents' side. We have a few of them already.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, please.
So the question is how online classes support education and socialization in a child. That's the question. That is a very hot topic of discussion.
So, Simple ma'am, thank you again. And this is actually a very important platform and quite an important discussion, I think, for many parents, because some of them are still in a dilemma. And major question, how does online class or how do online classes actually support or promote education? And another very important aspect again is the socialization, which has been majorly missed in the last year due to the pandemic. So we had done online classes successfully in the previous year, and we could see a lot of changes and benefits in the children. So what is the major thing that we should all actually look out for when we say online classes? We have to see how they are being conducted. Now, there are many classes out there on offer. You have many different methods, many different ways that they're being conducted. But one should really look out for an active participation in the class. That is what I feel actually makes or breaks an online class, the effectiveness of a class. So what we can call as two-way communication. Now, sitting and listening or looking at a screen and just having a one-way communication where child is not able to express themselves, that is not really education. So two-way communication where the child can interact with the teacher, that is where online class becomes effective. And here in Kids Castle, that's how the classes are. The teacher is there very much during the classes. She is there looking out for the children, answering each and every one of their queries, and everybody is participating. All the children are there, they're able to express their views. And how these online classes actually help, they give you a structure. So yes, we all know that parents are the first teachers. They're at home. They're the best ones to actually guide their child. But not everybody is aware of how to do it. There are certain ways which make it more effective, certain ways which are not as effective. So these classes are a very good way for parents also to pick up those pointers and to constructively continue the education of the children. So it doesn't have to stop just because the pandemic is there or it's no longer physical schooling. Online options are also pretty much good now here, the options that we have. So we have streamlined classes where children are actually participating in many different activities. Once again, it is not just written work or oral time. We believe in holistic development, and even if it's online, that is what we have aimed to give our parents and to our children. So we have activities happening, we have physical activities, motor skill activities, creative activities, and communication. So communication is what brings about the socialization in the child. So they need to talk to somebody. Now at home, it's just 3 people or 4 people. More often than not, it's adults at home. So the children do not get other children of their same age group where they can, mix and mingle. So these online classes definitely further that aspect as well. They help the children to express themselves, to meet other children, to see what they are doing, because here it's through peers that they learn at this age. They observe and they learn, and in this online platform, they're able to observe everybody just like they would in their class. So I think online classes definitely are the most viable alternative for offline classes, because now at present offline classes are not an option. So ideally we should not be stopping the development of the child, because this period, this age is a very crucial age. This is when they pick up very fast. They are able to adapt, grasp what is being taught. So we should not let go of this age and this golden opportunity. we should further it through these online classes, definitely they are a plus as far as education is concerned.
Yeah. Hamsa ma'am, I'll add on to it certain points from my end also. See, this question is basically coming up from parents, and we also sometimes feel as an educationist that how online education is supporting to a child, because this is some method which was not witnessed at any point of time, right? There were these Baiju classes and Vedant classes and so many other classes were there, but they were catering to children who were much elder. But bringing down the same platform in the preschool atmosphere was a very big challenge for all of us also. And I can understand this dilemma in the mind of parents, that how online education is supporting to the growth of my child, right? As what Hamza ma'am has told, that this is the next best viable alternative available. But that also does not mean that, since only this thing is available, so we will cater whatever is coming to our mind, right? Our classes are structured in such a manner that they promote socialization and interaction within the children and teachers, right? Many of the online class providers are just playing recorded videos and showing it to the children. It becomes a one-way communication totally, right? At Kids Culture, what we have tried to do is that one teacher would definitely be there in the class, batch sizes would be small, and the interaction will happen between the teacher and students, and between the students among themselves also. They will interact with each other. So basically this will promote some amount of socialization in the children, and our activities are designed in such a manner that they talk to each other, right? It's not a one-way communication again. It's a communication happening between the teacher and students and among the whole class also, right? And we all are aware that students learn from each other experiences. A child mind is just like a sponge, right? Whatever they see in the atmosphere, in the environment, among themselves, they will try to absorb that particular behavior, right? So whenever you are doing online class, when other children are responding to the teacher, when other students are talking among each other, when they are answering back to the teacher, when teachers are asking to the student, all the other children in the classroom would learn from each other. This behavior gets copied, right? Now imagine, some child who is not taking online classes at all. There is no exposure to outside world. This important parameter of growth, these essential years which are there till 6 years, would definitely get missed out, right? We would be totally losing out on this specific developmental phase, that these years are not going to come back at all, right? At the same time, our focus would definitely be on the curriculum. 70% of the entire activities which we do in the online classes are more towards promoting socialization, right? And the remaining 30% of the time we spend on curriculum based activities. We spend good amount of effort on curriculum also, but majority of our efforts go to ensure that socialization happen. As Hamsa ma'am has mentioned, that there are speech delays, children are less expressive, right? If we just teach about numbers, colors, shapes, and various maths concept, these issues would still be there, right? Until and unless we talk about, we open the gates for communication within the children, the issue of socialization would not go away until that. So our classes are being designed in such a manner that it promotes socialization among the children. At the same time, education would also be covered, curriculum portions would also be covered. We will ensure that nothing is being missed out in curriculum. But yes, our focus is mostly on the socialization, which is the most is one of the most important point which is getting missed out these days, right? So we will take it up. We will ensure that our online classes are such a way that they support education as well as socialization in a child.
Thank you, Hamsa ma'am. I think that answers the question. So parents, do not have any doubts in your mind. These online classes are designed perfectly in a way where socialization will happen and so also education. So it's a balanced effort and balanced platform, the online classes. Go for it if you have not gone, and do not have any doubts. So there are some more questions coming up. So the next question is how to cope up with a missed year of curriculum. So there is, since children have not taken, I mean, the parents have not opted for online classes last year, few of them have missed out. So the entire year has gone by and the curriculum has missed, academics have missed. So how to cope up with this uh, missed year of curriculum?
Simple, ma'am, I'll take that up. Very rightly said, because of a pandemic last year, parents have missed their child's schooling. Okay, because there was a lot of confusion. First of all, the schools will open or not, or a child, my child, a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old can do online classes or not. So there were a lot of questions in parents' mind, lots of confusion of what was there. So that's why the 1 year of structured learning was missed. But in Kids Castle, we have done it. Okay. And if I'll share the data of Kids Castle, there are 200 plus new admissions who have missed their previous classes, or I'll say more than that. So 200 itself in LKG who have missed their nursery sections, okay? And for UKG also 60 to 70 kids are there who have missed their LKG sections. So my suggestion to parents would be, do not get panicked, do not get worried up, okay? As a school, we are trying a lot to cover up both the classes portions, okay, whether it is writing, whether it is their reading part, whether it is book work, whether it is thematic activities, we are trying to cover up everything. So we are brushing up, we are revisiting previous class curriculum, okay. And as a parent, I would say that spend little 30 to 40 minutes additional with your child every day apart from their online classes with the structured learning. Okay, then within 2 to 3 months, your child would be at par of the kids who have done their online classes. So, dear parents, you can collect previous year portions covered from your center head. So if say your child has skipped nursery and coming directly to LKG, you can take nursery portion covered from your center head and just highlight the stuff your child knows and mark the stuff your child doesn't know. Make a weekly planner with the child and go slow. So you're within 6 to 8 weeks or by next 2 months, your child would be knowing all the nursery portions. And in school also, we are trying to cover up, we are trying to revisit everything. With us also. So if we say like, okay, writing portions, we are not starting with the print letter, we are starting with the capital itself. So other things also we are starting from basic so that kids can cope up their missed thing. So the things that we'll not be able to cover is like socializing, the missed portion, they were not talking. So for that also, we are coming up with your Meet Your Sessions program, Meet Your Friends program, communication segments. So these all things also are coming up, are planned on the way so that they can match up with the kids who have done the structured schooling.
Right,
Simple,
right.
man, you can add on the pointers we are adding on in the curriculum part.
Yes, ma'am, as you rightly said, we have come up with these communication segments. Let's meet your friends segment. And if I say particularly say for LKG, the actual portion begins when we start teaching them cursive letters or small letters. But this year again, we are going ahead very slow with the nursery curriculum only. We are starting with the standing line, sleeping line, joining the dots, slanting lines and curves. And then we are doing the writing portion. So it depends on which class has been missed out. If I talk now of UKG, children have are right now doing, when we have started our online classes, they are doing what they should have done in LKG. Even if they have not done, it's perfectly fine because now we will be doing it. Yes, but definitely, as ma'am said, you will have to spend some after school hours with them. You have to spend some extra time with them. Go ahead and teach them if they have not been, because the finger grip requires practice. It's like mathematics. The more you practice, the better you become. It is similar to that. Writing will become perfect when they are doing it repeatedly and they're doing it every day. Only one thing there, parents, I would like to add here is that do not make your child conscious that he doesn't know what his other peers might know. Because yes, definitely one full year means 12 months of inactivity, 12 months of not following the routine. They would have done something, but what is required is not matching. So do not make them conscious. Within 8 to 10 weeks, they will be at par with the other friends. The language development will also happen. because it is also as fluency will come as and when they start talking. So whatever is required, we will all be as school and as parents. It's a both way, two-way communication. We both need to pull our strings fine, and we will work together and make the children at par with whatever they have missed out. Extra efforts is required, definitely.
Just
Yeah,
like to add also,
So, yeah,
I
simple.
mean,
Simple, ma'am, I'll add on one more point over here to the parents. Parents, don't say your child, okay, come, let's have a study time or let's study together, because sometimes the kid is not interested. Give them a practical learning. The preschooler can learn practically, and once in a week, twice in a week, you are showing them books apart from writing for the thematic activities and others. That would be enough for them. So always focus on a practical learning from the environment. If you are teaching shapes, you can do it on a dining table. What is the shape of a chapati or a idli, or the other things, counting of numbers, you can count pencils or pen. So practical learning is better for the kids, and you can do it whenever you want to do. So don't have a special, because a preschooler doesn't have to come to a room and do a study time. So that is not required. So have a practical learning. Hamsa ma'am, you were adding something?
yes, what I wanted to add was, if you're still in a dilemma, please don't feel that, we will catch up next year. It's very different to learn something over 10 months and to learn it in 2 months. Your child, one, will feel the pressure to catch up. You will feel the pressure rather than the child. From our side, we'll ease it out for the child, but you will feel the pressure as a parent later on to catch up on the previous year's portions. Plus, a lot of other developmental aspects take time. Your motor skill development doesn't happen in a two, it's not a catch-up kind of thing. You can't develop your motor skills or your speaking skills in a fast forward manner in 2 months and then move on to what is expected of that age later on. So if you're still in a dilemma, you still haven't considered the online option, I would definitely say please go for it, because you need to give the child enough time to pick up and to hone the skills relevant to their age. So at this age, every year they have different milestones. There are different things that they should be learning and perfecting. So that cannot be fast tracked into a single year at a later point of time. So definitely do consider the classes, because your child will be the one to benefit at the end of it.
Rightly said. Thank you, Hamsa ma'am. Thank you, Shweta ma'am, for this answer. I hope parents have got their answer to this question. And now I have received another question from another parent. So child is only accustomed to the mother tongue. So this was what we had discussed earlier also. We told, yes, this will be a major feedback when we start taking classes, because here we are doing English as a communication for our preschool, and children are accustomed to the mother tongue. So how will this transition be?
Simple, ma'am, I would like to answer that up. So dear parents, it is scientifically proved that up till 5 years of age, you can introduce multiple languages to the child. 5 languages also you can introduce. So there is, like, your child has not missed anything if last year they have not learned English communication. You have time to introduce that. Okay, so before pandemic, it was like mother tongue parents used to teach, and English communication they used to learn from their friends, their teachers, from talking to outsiders. So, but right now part B is missing. Only they have parents and their sibling to talk. So that's why this thing is coming up in mind of the parents, that English communication is missing in my child. Dear parents, again, need not to worry up. Okay, once the child has started the structured learning, if you have enrolled in the online classes and your child has started with the classes, they will communicate with their teachers again, they will communicate with their friends, and gradually they'll master the English communication. And still at home, if you have an elder sibling, if your child has an elder sibling, you can ask elder sibling to talk in English with your younger one. That will also help your child to learn or to command the English communication. So these are the tips that I can give it to you right now to command on the English communication. But if you say mother is trying and the child is replying back in a mother tongue only, so child brain is trained like that. This is my mom, I have to talk to my mom or my father in the mother tongue itself. So they will grasp the word, what the mother is talking in English, but 99% times they will reply back only in the mother tongue itself. So sibling can help out, friends can help out. You can have a talk with the friends, your nearby friends, or in the school also. LKG, UKG parents have seen also last 2 weeks, we are doing meet your friend sessions. There also promote your child to talk in English. So right now they would be comfortable in mother tongue, but after 2 to 3 weeks, you will see the difference few words they will pick. And after 6 months of time, they would be mastering the language, okay, as per their age. This, I think, answers your question, Simple ma'am.
Yes, I think that is the most important part. Since the mother is trying to talk in the mother language or in English, children are not responding in English back to suddenly. So I think that rightly will answer the question. I think
Simple
parents.
ma'am, I would like to add on to this one. See, this concern of talking in mother tongue, right? And there is no harm in doing that also, because anyways the child is speaking something, right? You cannot stop a child to speak. So this is a good thing to happen. See, of late people have moved on to their natives, right? Many of the people who were staying in Bangalore, many of the parents who were associated with us for so long, they have moved on to their native, and from there they are taking the online classes, and the child is now getting exposed uh, to the native language a lot more than what they were exposed to when they were in Bangalore. At least earlier, when they were going to the play area downstairs or anywhere in Bangalore, they were exposed to English language because that was the common platform. But now at this point of time, even that portion is also being taken away from the child. So the exposure to native language, the mother tongue, is much higher, but no harm in that. Let the child speak the mother tongue as much as the child wants to. But if you really want to teach constructive English, you should sit down with your child for a half an hour, 45 minutes, and talk back to your child in English. Make your child understand that in English I have to talk and you have to respond back to me in the same language. So this is the way you will be able to promote a language which is used commonly. But still, I would say there is no harm speaking the mother language. You can always teach English as long as you are associated with the online classes. You would definitely be exposing your child towards English, and child would definitely grasp, as what Shweta ma'am has told about, that it will happen at some point or another. So nothing to be really worried about at this point of time.
I think parents also have this thought, how will my child follow what's happening in the class, because they don't know the English language. That's a major concern again. So for that, yes, a little bit of involvement from parents would be required. They'll have to be with the child initially until the child can start following the instructions and follow what is happening in the class. And as we had touched upon earlier, how to cope up with the missed curriculum, here also for the language at home, parents have to spend a little time. Reading a book every day, even if it's just 1 or 2 pages, is a very good way to help to kickstart their learning. And talking to them, as Anuj sir was saying, half an hour, 45 minutes, anything on any topic, or when you're doing some work, you dedicatedly, consciously speak only in English to the child. Automatically, as they keep hearing, the child will start to grasp. It'll take a little longer to replicate and to answer back in English. But first stage is for them to understand. And gradually, as they keep attending the classes, they're going to be hearing more and more of the English language. So gradually, the children will definitely pick up on English. It's not anything that a parent has to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Parents have to act moderator for a few months, I think, for translation purpose, and don't make it very obvious, parents, that this is a foreign language. You have to start slow, go slow. At home also, start using few words. It will come up, and the child will be able to communicate back in English. So I think that answers that question. I have another question, sir. This is from many of our parents: how to socialize during pandemic times, other than the online classes that are there. How can children socialize during these pandemic times?
Yeah, Simple ma'am, this question is right on top. And when we send out the form also, a lot of parents have asked about this question, that how do we socialize in pandemic time? And this is some question which is, ghosting us for so long. And every month we think that next month the situation will be better, things will be outside in the park. But now it's kind of becoming a dream for all of us to, hang out at places where we used to hang out earlier. Every option is closed. Socialization is absolutely zero. Parents are the only people who are able to socialize with their child. If there is a sibling also, then that would help. But if not, then yes, it's very much restricted. But yes, we can take up certain activities at home also. One thing definitely, ma'am, being a part of online class would definitely help out, because that's a kind of window which you are giving to the child to have a look at the outsiders, what other people are doing, how other children are doing, and it will open up some kind of socialization circle for the child also. At the same time, of late, this concept of neighborhood meet have also picked up, wherein the children who are staying in the same locality, vicinity, or in the same apartment, they come up online and talk to each other under the observation and supervision of the parents. So there is a group which is being created based on the age, 3 years to 5 year, 5 year to 7 year, like that, within the locality, community where you are staying. And many more children are catching up with these kind of online platforms. So apart from online schooling, you can definitely create a group within your communities and ensure that similar age children are coming up and they are talking to each other. At the same time, one of the most important thing parents can do is to spend some time to talk to the child about what happened in the classroom, right? Today, what all activities did the teacher did? What were the other students saying? So basically, face-to-face interaction is not happening within the children. So the parent have to come into the picture and they have to ask to the child what all you observed in the classes today. So that will open up communication channels. At the same time, when the child is coming next day for the online class, he or she would be knowing that they have to observe other children also. They have to look at other children also. So that would also open up a bit of socialization for the children. Another important thing which every one of us can do now, and it's very important, is to inculcate the behavior of wearing a mask in the child, right? See, even if we all get vaccinated, children also get vaccinated, and COVID is also coming down anytime in future. This mask is not going to go away, right? It will remain with us for a longer period of time. So it is important that we can teach our child the importance of wearing mask, and most of the children are already aware of it, that they have to wear mask when they are going outside. As long as a child is wearing a mask, the cases are low. They can start communicating with other children in the neighborhood also, of course under the supervision of the parents. Anytime soon, when they come down to the school also, the mask culture is going to be there. It's not going to go away. So inculcate the behavior of wearing a mask in the child, and let the child socialize with others, right? Another, not on the socialization, I would say more towards a discipline, is to have some kind of routine for your child, right? Right now what is happening is that child is getting up anytime in the morning, having breakfast whenever they want to, do whatever, watch TV, take a bath at random hours, or not even taking a bath also. So all those things are coming up, and we are losing out on discipline of the child. No matter what, it adds up to socialization or not, but discipline has to be there. Please, my request to all the parent is that have a routine for your child. It's very, very important, though it doesn't sound anyway relating to socialization. But yes, if you have a routine for your child, uh, a lot of things are one. You are inculcating discipline into your child would listen to you, your child would understand the importance of having a routine in their life. So please inculcate that behavior. Apart from that, one of the parent on FB was Nitin, was asking about not interacting with other children, right? So when the online classes are going on, the child is not interacting with other children. I think this point was being touched, that we will have these sessions of meetup at Kids Castle also, wherein we will get the children talk among each other. So that platform we are also creating. It is just that in the month of June only we have started with our session. It's too early to let the children speak among themselves or give a platform to them to speak among themselves. But soon we will be coming up with this platform also, where the children will be talking to each other through the Kids Castle platform. Right,
Anuj,
ma'am.
Anuj sir, just to add on, for UKG kids, we have already started that
Already.
Meet Your Friend session, and parents and kids both have appreciated it. We have seen kids talking to their friends, making new friends and all, and parents also were very excited during the session. That also we have observed. So, dear parents, we are also working on it for the socialization of the child, but that can happen once in a week. That we have planned, that Meet Your Friend session will be having a different topic. This week it was show your toy. Next week it can be some other topic. So we would be doing these kind of activities with the school kids, where we are not talking about the academics. It's just a random talk, they are doing it. And then from, as Anuj sir has mentioned, you can do it with your neighbor kids also, same kind of a session. Again, you should not be talking about ABC or anything related to the curriculum. It should be what you ate, what you had, their daily routine. You can talk about it. You have to keep your child free at that time, so that they can express their feeling completely. Okay. And language, do not barrier anything. They can talk in mother tongue. It is equally good. Right now, our main motive should be, they should be talking to other people. Whether it is English, whether it is mother tongue, do not mind it. Do not force your child to talk. Okay, she's your friend or he's your friend, you should be talking in English to command that language. That will come automatically after a few months. But right now, talking to someone is pretty important.
Right. That's a very valid point. Going forward, there's actually one major concern. A lot of questions have come regarding that. My child is not paying attention in the class. They're not sitting in one place. They're getting up and going. I mean, how do I make them sit? Because this is something new. It's new for parents. It's new for children as well. They're all used to, watching something on screen, so they can go off, come back anytime. It's still running. Nobody's there to ask them why, what, how, but this is completely different. So how to change that concentration level? Simple, ma'am, if you can just give us a few points on that.
This is a very hot burning question in every parent's mind. When we started our online classes, even last year, we had this question. This year also, it's popping up. So yes, it is a difficult situation to be in. We are dealing with the children who are 3 to 6 years old. That's the preschoolers age. And the attention span for these children is very little. It is 10 to 15 minutes. 15 is a higher side, I think. 5 to 10 minutes is what maximum their concentration is. So if you see our classes also, it is not going to just be reading or writing or only one segment that we deal with. So if concentration is lesser, I'll just tell you what you can do to have them, have a higher attention is give them material to work with. First of all, like, do you see children when they are playing with their toys or building blocks, how concentrated they are? So that is what is very important. You give them different material to work with. How we do Suji tracing, if you have seen, if some of our parents have seen our classes, we do tracing on Suji. So the writing portion is just not writing on the notebook, pencil or crayons. They're using their fingers and they're using Suji and they're tracing and they're playing with the Suji. This is a very different way children enjoy. So once they start enjoying the activity, they would sit for longer hours. The second activity you can choose is clay doh. So when they are getting messy with clay, they really enjoy and they can spend like hours sitting with that clay and making something. So you can make shapes, you can add food color, you can give them different color of clay, you can show them numbers, you can do counting activities. Innumerable activities can be done with clay, not even just clay modeling. You can do like writing of the letters and numbers, and a revision can be done. The more they sit with one particular material that they like, they would want to sit better. Also, then third is paper tearing activities. Like, these are not just craft activities that I'm talking about. These can be imbibed in our regular curriculum. Paper tearing, they enjoy this like anything because it's a mess that is getting created and their fingers are on the move. Also their mind, they do not know how long have they been sitting on that. They would want to run around. Let them run around. If they want to, call them back, because that is what our teachers also do. If they're doing one particular segment, child runs around, the child will be called back again. So you will have to sit back in the class and see what is there. If you are doing an activity, I'm sure your child is all around, roaming around near to you to be what you are doing. They want to see what mothers are doing or fathers are doing, and they replicate whatever you have done. So you have to sit back, definitely, but give time to your child. Again, 2 to 3 weeks is the settling time initially once they start classes. Even if 2 to 3 weeks have gone, give them a little longer. They will pick up their favorite subjects, like they enjoy the rhyme time, or they enjoy the yoga session, but they do not enjoy when it comes to books. Again, the next segment is change and it is some coloring activity. They would want to come back. So if they're doing certain activities, picking up certain and not picking up certain, it is okay. Give them time, they will come back. And another, what Shweta ma'am had suggested before, do not call it as a class, as in class. You can always name it. Let's see what is going to be today. You will have your manuals in place before the week begins. So you can, prompt them, okay, today we are going to have a yoga activity. This is your yoga mat. This is your place of work. So you have to keep motivating positively. You have to talk to the child that today we are going to have so much of fun. So this is your many things are there, just because their attention span is very less, and it is with all the children. We have to show them how they can master the art of bringing attention to a maximum time.
Just to build up on that, another thing is when you show interest, child shows interest. So initial phase, if the child is not able to sit and give required attention, if you do it, the child will be curious enough to come and see what you are doing. And as Simple ma'am just mentioned, they like to replicate. So if you are doing it, they want to do it. If you show interest, excitement, child will also be interested to do the activities. So it takes time. And we have also structured it, keeping that in mind, a child's attention span. So none of our activities span more than 10 minutes. And try not to skip activities. In a class, if you pick and choose what you want to do or don't want to do, then the child will be even more picky. They will say, no, this is the only thing I want to do. So all segments are for the benefit of the children. So as a parent, you can be along with the child, or if your child is not coming to the screen, you be in front of the screen, you do the activities, the child will automatically have some interest. Okay, my mother is doing something, it must be good, because mama always does things which are fun and interesting for me. So you need to generate that excitement. Here, yes, teacher will keep calling the children back, asking them to do, encouraging them, but nothing works better than seeing somebody do it right in front of their eyes. So till that attention span gets extended for the child and the concentration levels are improved, your involvement in the classes would definitely help.
Right. Ma'am, I have another question which seems very relevant for current times. How to ensure lesser screen time for my child? Because the classes are online, they have to keep looking at the screen all the time. So there's a lot of parents who have asked this question actually. How to ensure the child is having lesser screen time?
So, Simple ma'am, first of all, we have to differentiate screen time into two parts, healthy screen time and unhealthy screen time. Where the child participation is nil, equivalent to nil, it is unhealthy screen time. And where the child participation is good, where the child is talking to someone, so that is called a healthy screen time. Like our online classes will consider, because it is a two-way learning for the child, it is the person is talking and a child is responding, so comes as a healthy screen time. Or they are talking to their friends, or they are talking to some relative through a mode of a screen, whether it is a laptop or a phone, so it considered to be healthy. Unhealthy comes up where the child learning is zero, they are sitting on a chair or a couch and watching a cartoon. So their learning doesn't happen. It's like just they do a time pass kind of thing for next 1 hour. The child is watching there is no output in it. So parents have to make sure that you give some kind of a toys or activity to the child rather than giving a cartoon to see, because their kids are there at home for whole day. Okay, and their time has to be divided. So I can understand it is very tough for the parents also to give some kind of activity or change the activity after every 30 minutes or 1 hour. But yes, a unhealthy screen time you need to cut from the child's day-to-day routine. This will not give any kind of a benefit to the child, not even in the speech, not even in the talking. Even I'll say where there is a one side of a communication, speech delay happens, because for that 1 hour your child is not talking anything, not doing any kind of activity. Okay, so that is very, very unhealthy for the child physical health also and mental health also. So I would suggest parents to do to give certain kind of activity, like Simple Ma'am has told us, simple paper tearing activity. You can give a newspaper and write something and ask the paper to ask the child to stick a paper over there, or these kind of activity. You can give it to your child again and again, crayons activity, coloring activity, if you are occupied also, so child can do it on their own. Okay, rather than just giving a TV remote and see the Peppa Pig or some other cartoon to them. So unhealthy screen time has to be reduced by giving some kind of a activity to the child, has to be replaced. And healthy screen time has to be increased, because this is the only way of learning right now. We don't have any other option that we can do learning with something else. They can't go out, so school is coming to the screen, or they can't go out, so friends are coming to the screen, talk to them. So increase your healthy screen time, you can increase it, but it will not impact on eyes on much if you use a bigger screen. Do not use phone for any kind of a class or something. Use your laptop. You can connect to TV also, our classes. So more the screen size is bigger, impact on eyes would be lower, and attention span also. Kids will come back and do it, because they are inside the room somewhere roaming around. So they would be come back and do the activity in case their attention span is also low. This is, yeah.
So to add on further, they are young children, as we have already been discussing. So expecting them to engage on their own in constructive activities is something, too much to expect. So definitely that you will have to spend a bit of time, take out a bit of time and come up with activities for the child to do. So now in classes, we have something called Home Connect segment, which we give so that you can do it later. And we share with you videos also of the activities done in that day or in that week's classes. All of these you can always repeat again. You can give it to your child. They can do it if you are wondering what to do. Because yes, thinking of something to do whole day gets a little daunting for sure. So you can always repeat what has been done in class, because at the end of the day, they're all meant to improve some skill or the other. So doing it once in the class is probably not sufficient. You can always repeat it again. So the point here being, you will have to be actively involved in promoting other activities as opposed to giving them a screen. That is the easiest way to engage time at present, because as mentioned, they are inside the house 24/7. So there has to be some outlet. All of us do have work, definitely. So we have to be actively involved in ensuring that we have lesser screen time for the child. And as Shweta ma'am has mentioned, it should be something learning, related to learning, not ABC, even talking to friends, to relatives, or you're asking your child to talk about a topic, ask them to think about it, say 5 sentences. You can even do it while you are working. So many different ways of doing it. You can pick up some from school, but yes, some time has to be spent with them if you are really looking to lessen their screen time.
Yeah, I think that answers this question as well, because healthy and unhealthy screen time, parents, you will have to identify that and cut down on the unhealthy screen time. Definitely, it's going to be the ensure that lesser screen time is there, and it is not the healthy ones. It is generally the one way YouTube or something, watching just the screen without anyone asking them to talk back. So yes. There is one more question, and not one more. I think many parents have put down this question: how to improvise on writing. See, ma'am, actually the entire year last year, they have not done anything, any schooling for that matter. So parents have tried at home to learn the writing practice and all. They have tried their hands on that, but definitely how to improvise on writing and how to create that interest in writing, because the pencil grip, even if it is there, they are not able to have interest in writing. They want to run away. So how to improve on that part, if you can touch point?
Okay, so yes, ma'am, this year we are also observing, and since we have started our classes, parents are also little worried about the child not doing the writing at par. Okay, so LKG child is not writing capital letters. Again, I would say to parents, we are revisiting everything in the school, so don't get worried up. Okay, and here, what we suggest parents to do as a Kids Castle, as a team, I would suggest parents to do that a structured writing for 15 minutes every day is required if they don't know the basics. That is pretty important for the child to learn writing, and writing requires a structured teaching also. So here I'll tell my team to prepare a small videos where she can explain, where a teacher can explain to the parents that this week what you have to introduce and how you have to introduce to your child. Because writing randomly we can't teach. It's not like numbers and other things that randomly from environment we can teach it to the child. It requires a structured training also to the parents, okay, to how to teach a writing. If it is incorrect at this point of time, it will stay incorrect throughout the preschooling. So parents also, mothers also have to take certain kind of sessions from our teachers. So we'll make a small videos for you, and then you can follow the same pattern. How it's not tough if we move in the correct direction. Okay, so I'll give you some tips to help writing, okay, with your child here. First of all, you have to focus on a grip of a child. If a grip is correct, then you have to focus that scribbling your child can do within boundaries or not. Scribbling, you can draw a shape of an apple on a A4 sheet and ask the child to scribble with a crayon. If it is within the boundaries, it is well and good. Your child, next step, you can move on. If it is not within the boundaries, try your child to finish within the boundaries. Okay, then once it is the child is doing a scribbling in a correct direction also, you have to matter. If a child has started with one direction, it should complete it in one direction. If they have started in slanting, it should complete in the same direction. So any kind of direction is fine, but it has to continue same. Then you can introduce your child joining the dots with a tracing, without tracing. So both the things are fine. You can give 2 dots to the child on a A4 paper, and they have to start from the starting point, end at the ending point. So they should know from where to start and where to end. So this is step 3 for them. Step 4 would be tracing of letters. So letters also you have to introduce, not in a ABC form. It should be standing and sleeping line letters first, then come down to slanting line letters. So L, T, I, H, F, E, these all letters are the one you should be introducing your child first. So once you are introducing letters, you have to go with the tracing of letters first. So once the tracing is done, then come down with the joining of dots. So for L, you can put 3 dots or 4 dots once your child knows tracing. Then you have to go further in next letter, L, T, I, in a same manner. Okay, do not repeat letters like L you are doing for 3 days, let him command L first. Child will get bored in that. So if L is shaky also, a little bit here and there, hazy also, it's all fine. You move on to T, you move on to I, then you can come back to LTI again if required. Okay, so do not repeat the same activity next day. It should be a something different activity that you are doing with the child. Otherwise, they'll not come. And once your standing and sleeping line letters are introduced, then you can come down to curves as well as numbers. Okay, so these are 5-6 steps you should be following it. But I would suggest that you look on to the videos also. It will start coming from next week from Simple Ma'am, Hamsa Ma'am itself. And they would be guiding you how to promote or how to do a writing step by step with your child. Okay, and one do that you should do every time 15 minutes every day, whether it is Sunday, whether it is Monday, you should be doing it. And over practice, kindly avoid. Do it only 15 letters a day or 15 minutes a day. If it is like 1 hour a day, next day your child will not do. So that will not help. Or you are doing 4 pages a day, next 4 days your child is not happy to do writing, that is also incorrect approach. One sheet, 15 times each letter writing is more than enough for them to learn, because it is like whole year they have to practice same thing. So go slow. Go as per the child's speed, not as per the parent's speed. Your teaching speed doesn't matter here. How the child learns, that matters a lot. Okay, so if your child requires 5-day practice for LTI, you give 5 days. If your child requires only 2 days practice for LTI, you give only 2 days. But don't over pressure child. Okay, and one thing I want to add on over here, kindly motivate your child positively, as and when they finish some kind of a task, positive motivation is required. We as an adult also, we appreciate, okay, if some kind of appreciation is given to us. If your child has done something incorrectly also, do not say why you have done it wrong. Okay, you have done it very nicely, but you can do it better. Okay, so this time I'll give you 1 star, tomorrow I'll give you 2 stars if you'll do it very better. So that way positive motivation gives a child a positivity, okay, and they will be happy to do writing next day also. So these are small pointers which you can input, but a detailed webinar also will do, one kind of a workshop also we will do for the parents, and a smaller videos also will come down to you. So I hope this this writing portion, structured one, you will be able to implement after this session. Anyone wants to add on? Hamsa ma'am, Simple ma'am, Anuj sir?
No, it's okay. It's pretty much explained.
Also, ma'am, one more question related to this writing has come up now. Sometimes it is difficult for the child to complete the classwork and homework on time. Any suggestions how to make this done?
Okay, ma'am, the classwork, yes, we give ample time for child to write. If yes, basics are missed or the speed is slow, it's okay, they can complete it after the class. And homework, we give weekly basis. If your child is not happy today to do the homework, don't force your child. Initially, we'll never expect you guys to force the child to finish off the homework, because it is a new learning they are coming up, online schooling and all. It is already tough for them to adjust all these things. So it is weekly once you can finish the time child is comfortable to do it. And in case first week your child is not able to do homework, that's also okay. None of the teacher will question you. We have trained our teachers not to question if the child has not completed it. And in case your child is missing out 2 weeks of homework also, it's fine, but complete it later when your child is comfortable over there. Okay, initially 2 weeks, we are thinking that, okay, the child is settling, the child is taking time to get settled up. So it's all okay. First few weeks, your child is not happy. Definitely after 2 weeks, once your child is settled in the class, very much happy in the class, then they will do homeworks also. So give little time to your child.
Ma'am, we have a lot of questions coming on FB. So parents, you can keep asking. We were here live on FB. And we have our expert panel also here. They will answer everything that you want to know. Ma'am, on writing part again, what is the right age for them to start writing?
Okay, so after 2.5, when child turns 2 years, 6 months, you can start introducing writing. Their proper grip and writing of letters would come once the child turns 3. So here I'm talking about capital letter, their pencil grip. So you can consider 2.5 to 3 years of age, the child should start writing.
There are also many factors which contribute towards a child writing. There are many reasons why they don't want to write. It is never that the child cannot write. There is no such thing. We have to give them time and the correct tools and the correct atmosphere for them to write. More often than not, the motor skills need to be developed. So that is where the issue comes. The hand starts to pain. You might hear those reasons from the children. My hand is aching. After 2 lines, they drop the pencil. They're not able to hold on. Or the grip itself keeps changing because the hand is not able to cope up with the writing. So a lot of things contribute towards a child picking up on writing skills. But if it's a little delayed, there's nothing to be worried. That's another thing that parents should keep in mind. Somebody else is doing, my child, please don't compare. Every child is different. So you need to specifically identify and find out what is hindering your child to continue the progress in the writing segment. So motor skills, do activities, whatever you're doing in class, because once the strength comes in the hand, also writing usually automatically they pick up an interest. They no longer say no to it. So there are many different reasons for a child to pick up or not to pick up, but you can just have it in mind that it's never that a child will not pick up.
So now there is another question. We are flooded with many questions, so please be prepared. We have the answers also here coming up. So once the school reopens, then how online classes will meet up to the offline classes? Won't there be a gap of education from online to offline? So that's the
Okay.
question.
Yeah, yeah. Simple ma'am, this is one question which definitely is on top of our mind. That once the school opens physically, the offline mode of operation comes into picture. What will happen then, right? And it's a kind of question where we are also at our dilemma that what's going to happen once the school opens. But yes, we have to be prepared, and we have to be absolutely sure that there are no gaps. But believe me, if as an educationist I say that there are going to be no gaps at all, I would be totally wrong, right? If we are doing something online, it will definitely not meet up 100% to an offline physical mode of teaching. One of the glaring differences which we see is that the offline classes are for 3 hours, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, right? 5 times in a week, while online is just 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes maximum, that to 4 times in a day, right? So this itself is a huge gap. What we could have covered under an offline mode, we are not able to do that under an online mode, because first of all, the number of working hours are limited. At the same time, the child is not in front of us. The atmosphere of a school, desks are there, blackboard is there, teacher is there. That kind of atmosphere we are not able to provide because of various known reasons. We are aware why we are not able to provide, but that doesn't stop us to at least reach to a point where we are ensuring that the child is not missing out on learning years, right? The most important concepts of learning, the major portions of curriculum are being covered. We are ensuring that when the child moves on to an offline mode of teaching, he or she would not have learning difficulties, right? As far as the curriculum is concerned, the child would be able to grasp as much as possible that platform we are trying to create. See, it's all about creating some kind of foundation for a child. We can totally ignore giving any kind of education to a child as long as we think that once the offline mode of teaching comes into picture, then only we are going to start with the schooling. That would definitely harm the learning of a child. It will take away the uninterrupted learning from a child totally. Okay, you really cannot have a child being exposed to any kind of learning in these growth and developmental years, right? So what we are going to do is that we are going to work out on the foundation of the child, whatever is necessary for the child age wise. Those concepts, those portions, we will definitely are going to cover up, right? uh, Imagine a situation wherein you get a child who comes in UKG for the first time. Parent is thinking, okay, in nursery pandemic happened, I'm not going to send my child to the school. Then in LKG also the pandemic is continuing, and I'm not sending my child to the school. But once the pandemic gets over, the child comes directly in UKG. Just imagine how many concepts, how much foundation the child has already missed out. Language would not be there, the learning of English would not be there, phonetics will not be there, writing practices would also not be there, recognition of so many shapes and mathematical concepts would not be there, how to behave socially, what is a classroom, what is a student teacher bond. All those things would be at complete loss when the child is directly coming down to a offline mode without being a part of online mode of teaching, right? So as long as the gaps are concerned, yes, we will plug in all the gaps. when the child is moving from an online mode of teaching to a offline mode of teaching, we will cover up as much as possible. But yes, there will be some gaps. And when the child is coming down to Kids Castle under an offline mode, we will be very particular about it, that whatever portion we have missed out, we will reflect them again back once the child is coming down to the offline mode of teaching.
Sir, another related question to this school opening is, once the schools are open, children who are doing online classes with us may feel hesitant to go to school. So how to handle that transition? Few parents are skeptical about that part also. So if you can throw some
Yeah,
light on
yeah.
that.
See, I'll try to break it up in couple of parts. This particular question. See, as long imagine a situation wherein the schools open after say 3 months or 4 months down the line or whatever time it is. Then the child is moving from an online mode, which was there under Kids Castle, to an offline mode, which is again under Kids Castle, right? So we will consider that child as a fresh admission only. We are not going to assume that, okay, child is already into online, so we don't need to take care of the settling activities which we do every year. So we have to start that as a year zero for the child, where the child is coming up for the first time in Kids Castle. So we will have the same settling activities which we do every year, and we are master into it. We know that how do we settle a child in the month of June. Same way we will settle the child whenever the schools are opening physically. Okay, so we will have settling activities. We will have the staggered timings in place, wherein the child, some children are coming 9 to 10, then some are coming 10 to 11, 11 to 12, like that, so that I can put more workforce to ensure. I can put more workforce on lesser number of children to ensure that more attention is being given, and we are able to settle the child quickly. So that assumption would not be there within the Kids Castle staff, that these children are already settled. And in fact, it would be more difficult to settle them because they are coming to an atmosphere of school after 1.5 years, right? So many of the children who have joined us may have not physically come down to the school even. So we will consider that as a year zero. We are not going to consider them that because of online classes, the child, already knows about how the school functions. That would be totally wrong from us. Second part, would happen when the child has taken, say, admission in LKG last year. So LKG is going on and UKG is going on, and we this year also gets on into online classes only. And in the first standard only, the child goes into a formal school, right? So that is a situation where the child is moving from Kids Castle online classes to a third party, I would say, or to someone who is taking formal schooling, and the child is going to a new atmosphere totally. So that is a situation where this kind of out of our hands, right? But what we will ensure that, when we are facing a situation that in UKG also we are saying that the entire year is going on online, in the latter part of the year, we would ensure that we teach and educate a child what all they are going to face, what all they are going to enjoy when they are moving to a formal schooling. So we will create those habits. But see, personally, I may not be saying in this group, but personally, what I feel is that schools will open this year, right? Vaccinations are in place, and every effort is being done to ensure that the schools shall open. I am very hopeful that the schools will open this year. I do not really see a situation wherein we do online schooling entirely for this year for our preschoolers. So I would still keep the option as the best scenario, where the child is moving from online classes of Kids Castle to offline classes of Kids Castle only. If worst case scenario, it happens the child moves to a formal school next year without being exposed to Kids Castle offline classes, then I believe every educationist is on the same platform. They are as much as aware as we are that what kind of background the child is coming to. So they will also do some activities to ensure that the settling process is very, very easy. Okay, so care will be taken up as long as it's within Kids Castle or outside Kids Castle. Enough care will be taken up to ensure that the child does not face any difficulties.
Thank you, sir. I think you have answered 2-3 questions that were coming up right now on FB.
Mhm.
So parents, you can keep asking questions. There is one more question, ma'am, regarding to communication. My son has been exposed to multiple languages. I'm just reading out what the question is. My son has been exposed to multiple languages from his birth, like Bengali, Malayalam, English, Hindi. Even though he understands all the languages, his vocabulary has been limited. So now we have started speaking in English to make it common for him and have seen improvement, but it's taking time. So please advise. So this is multiple language impact that is coming.
Okay, so yes, a speech delay happens when the child is learning multiple language, but it is overall very good sign for the child to learn multiple language below 5. So dear parents, my suggestion is continue with the languages he is learning right now. English, again, he will learn from the friends and teachers once he comes down to school or once he's doing the online classes. So at home, you take care of the languages you are teaching him earlier, like Bengali and which all you said, ma'am?
Malayalam,
Okay.
Hindi and English.
Okay, so so Bengali, Malayalam, and Hindi you can teach. English you can leave it right now, and he will learn from the friends and the school. Okay, so these 3 languages you can teach at home, and more the child is exposed to more languages, their IQ level is also increased. So need not to worry, speech delay would be there because he is not learning one language. He is taking words of all 3 languages. Okay, so speech delay would be there, but that is healthy, that is not unhealthy, that is not a problematic at all. So continue with that mother tongue and the local language you are teaching your child.
So there is, sorry, Hamza ma'am, you can
Actually,
you want to
just
add
a question from one of the parents. They're asking if there's any possibility of starting classes beyond UKG at Kids Camp.
Okay.
I wish that happens. I wish that happens. But preschools, we all know it's from toddler, playgroup, nursery, LKG, and UKG, not beyond that. So first 100 years of formal school will have to take care of the child. Our responsibility will end till the time we ensure that the child gets admission in first standard, and the child does not faces any issue in getting the admission, as well as the child is able to perform at par with other children also coming from various other preschools in the first standard.
So, there is another question. Are the children becoming mature before their age due to the current situation, lack of interaction with other children?
Ma'am, yes, you have answered it over here only that there is a lack of interaction with other children, right? See, at the beginning also I have mentioned that a child mind is just like a sponge, right? And they are observing from the atmosphere, absorbing from the environment, whatever they are being exposed to. Now they are not having any interactions with children of a similar age, right? And the only open windows to the child are the parents, right? Parents, grandparents, or even if the sibling is there, then also that sibling is also being exposed to the same environment of interacting with parents and grandparents and relatives, right? Nothing beyond that. So it's a closed room where the interaction is happening. It's the outside world is not coming in for the interaction point. So we may be observing that child is talking something which the parents are talking, right? The behavior of the parent is getting replicated by the child, and that's the way it is supposed to be. They are not getting any behavior from outside, any learnings from outside. They are just replicating what their parents are doing. So when you are asking certain questions to your child, you feel that the answer is same as what a parent would have said, right? So it is not that they are getting matured earlier, or it's just that they are giving answers which you may think that a child may not give, right? Or they are very intelligent answers, or they are slightly matured answer. They are not childish, right? So it's just because of the atmosphere where they are being exposed to. My take on that would be is that don't be worried about it. As a parent, you are doing wonderful that your child is listening to you, looking at you, learning from you. You are doing excellent in that point. You are spending good amount of time with your child also. nothing to be worried about. The moment these issues of COVID and the school closures will get over, you will find your child behaving just like any other child would be behaving. It is just your child is becoming a mirror reflection of yourself, nothing else. Ma'am, you can.
There's another question.
Yeah, ma'am, Simple ma'am, please.
Yeah, I think this is curriculum related question that has come up. Is there any plan? I mean, this is for UKG precisely. Is there any plan for special attention for our UKG children who may have to join the new school? So I'm sure it's a new parent. So they want to know how UKG is structured. Will they face any difference when they go to class 1? So what all has been planned? You can just describe, Hamsa ma'am.
So for UKG, there are a couple of things that are very important for their development. One is the communication skills, and one is their reading skill, which is what is going to take them forward in the schools from first standard. So as far as communication and interaction is concerned, and even for academics, it is pretty much going to be covered in our regular sessions. And in addition to that, there are, as we had mentioned earlier, many additional sessions are also planned to get our children, our UKG children especially, up to speed, so that when they do transition into the first standard in a new school, they don't find it difficult or they don't find it different. Of course, adjusting to the atmosphere of a new place is going to be there for the child. That is something we cannot prepare them here itself. Every school is different. As far as physically once a child is going is concerned. But if you are looking at curriculum and what tools the child needs to have, all of that, yes, we will be covering. So the session has just started. It's hardly been a month. So the children are still settling into the classes as of now. But as we keep moving on, a lot of developmental aspects will be there. As I mentioned, reading, writing also, communication, basically building self-confidence. I think that does a world of good to the children wherever they will be going after this, after their UKG. So building of self-confidence, I think, answers all the questions. So that also we'll be doing through activities in our classes.
There's one more question on writing. So I think it's for reverse writing. So the question is, sometimes the child is writing the letters and numbers in reverse. I think 3, 5, and 7. That is where the children get confused. Even though the parent is repeating multiple times, the child is not able to overcome that.
Okay, so parents writing numbers reverse are called the mirror images that we call it as. So mirror letters or mirror numbers are pretty common when they write 2, 7, letters may S if they write. So mirror image is pretty common. So what you can do is basically you would be sitting opposite to the child and teaching the child. So you have to sit next to the child and teach him. So by the time multiple repetition you do with the child sitting next to him, then it would help the child to do it. It happens because a person who is teaching, mom or anyone else, they sit opposite, so they write, a child see the hand movement of a person, how they write it. So because you are sitting opposite, you write a mirror image, child also replica the mirror image of it. So don't be worried about it. Sit next to the child, right or left side, anything is fine. And repeat the letters again and again. As and when they do it incorrectly, erase it. Okay, and don't get worried up. They will do it correctly.
I think that answered that question. Ma'am, there is one more question. Online versus regular, that is physical school. So how online classes will meet up to the offline classes? I think sir can answer that.
Ma'am, that question we have picked up, online classes will meet up to the offline classes in terms of curriculum, or how is it?
I think the parent wants to know about how equal are they? Is one better? Is there any drawback to the online?
Okay. Shweta, you want to answer on that?
I can do that. Dear parents, our online classes and offline classes structure are different. That I can understand, because offline classes were 4 hours a day and online classes is 1 hour a day. So that differentiation, you can see that. But learning wise, it will not impact the child much. Okay. The timetable that we follow during the offline classes, same kind of a timetable we are following it in the online classes. Earlier in offline classes, it was 4 hours. So half an hour we used to give to every topic, whether it is writing, whether it is physical development, whether it is yoga or art and craft or playtime. But right now here we are giving 10 minutes to each segment, because parents are there to support the child for one-on-one activity. So learning wise, there would not be much difference. What the difference you will see is a talking wise. In the school, when the child comes, they talk a lot. Okay, with the teacher, introduction only first 10 minutes, it would be whole day they will explain to the teacher how the day went off and all. Here the talking part is missing, but rest curriculum part, if you'll say, it will go at par. In fact, they can do little better, because with each child there is their mother attached to it, and mother is a first teacher, and I can say the best teacher of the child. So curriculum part, it would be at par or even better. Anuj, you want to add on?
No, that's it. Fine. There's one question which has come up saying that, so wanted to know that if there will be both online and offline classes conducted when the school reopen. Whenever there is a permission from the government to open up with the standard SOPs in place, we will first of all equip our school to follow those SOPs. I'm sure there will be many SOPs which will come down. So we might take a bit on that, but the moment any regulation is coming up from the government to open up the preschool, we would be the first one to do that. Okay. At the same time, we are still aware that some parents would want to take up online classes still, and some parents would say that we will go for offline mode of teaching because that's the one which is allowed now. So we are not going to leave down the online classes this year at all. The platform with which we have started at the beginning of the year, same platform we will continue till the end of the year, no matter the offline classes start or not. Both can run parallelly also, and we would ensure that the child who's coming out of the online classes and the child who's coming out of the offline classes, they remain at par only. No differences on that.
So there is another question, ma'am. I think this you can answer. This is for the third language. So in our LKG, we have introduced the second language, Hindi or Kannada. So one of the many parents have picked up Hindi. One parent is now saying that my children want to learn Kannada as well. So can you initiate the third language, because now it will be termed as a third language. So can that be initiated, or how can we help them, or how can we guide them?
Okay. First I'll answer your question. Yes, your child can learn the third language. Okay. So they can attend the Kannada classes also. So you can introduce from your side the third language, and we can help out with the books and the classes. Now, my suggestion comes down, don't do that. Okay. Stick on to 2 languages, because it is little tough for the child to learn 3 languages in writing altogether. Verbally or talking, it is a different story. They can learn 5 languages also, but writing, so he will get mixed up, because right now they would be learning in LKG lowercase letter for English language, Hindi, Swar they would be learning. Then you will introduce Kannada also. So that would be very tough for child to do it. But from our side, there is no stop. If you can do a little extra work with your child and put a little extra effort, your child can do it.
Okay. There is one more question which says that could we skip the LKG and move to UKG directly, right? So see, if the option is there, please take up the online classes because that's the only support which is available to the child at this point of time, to have some gateway of learning opening for them. If you tend to miss out nursery, LKG, and directly come down to UKG, of course we will support. Of course we will try to ensure that we pick up the missed portion. But as in one of the conversation, Hamsa ma'am has said, a missed year of learning and growth is missed, right? We cannot go back and get that year of learning. As far as curriculum is concerned, yes, we will finish it out. But believe me, the growth and developmental years which have missed out will definitely be missed out. But nothing to panic. If you have done that also, you are not alone, right? There are many parents who are in constant dilemma of taking up online classes or not. And till last year, there was so much of hue and cry that why are you doing online classes? There are so many issues. There were so much things which are coming from WhatsApp University, flooded with the parents' mobile, saying that this is incorrect, that is incorrect, this will happen, the world will collapse because of online classes. But now this has become the accepted mode of learning everywhere, right? Everybody is looking out for online classes. There are so many big players who have come down into online classes also, and they are just showing videos to the children. And as a parent, we are doing that also. So as a parent, you need to identify what are good online classes, what are bad online classes, who is giving more time, who is more structured, who has a better curriculum. All those things you have to keep in mind and pick up the online classes. Now you have so many options available. When you have so many things available, I would suggest never miss out a learning year for your child. In a day, you have to spend an hour or so with your child during the online classes. It's not a big ask. It's not a very big thing to do for your child only. So do online classes as much as possible. Watch out for the screen time, as we have discussed in this meeting also.
And the wonderful thing about these online classes, you are actually having a window into the classroom. You are able to see what your child is doing, how activities actually happen in school. So you yourself get better equipped and you know how your child is responding, is learning. So it's actually a very nice thing, a very good way for us as parents also to know how the learning is happening. From personal experience, that's what I have felt.
There is another question regarding the second language, ma'am. The parent doesn't know either Hindi or Kannada. He's asking to suggest how to teach or which language to pick rather.
Okay, so if you stay in Bangalore, it's better to pick up Kannada. Okay, if you don't know both the languages. So, and teaching part, yes, once we are introducing up till second standard, your child can learn along with the school. So there is no additional effort that you have to put to the child and you have to learn the language. But yes, after second standard, the child would require your guidance. Then you have to seek for some other help that who can help your child to do the writing part and the homework part. So staying in Bangalore, staying in Karnataka, go ahead for Kannada.
And to add up to that, since we are sending the recorded classes also, it's not very difficult for parents. So the swar part, it's going on very in an interactive way. You can look at the video and help out your child also with the teacher in the class.
And the pace is also such that parents can learn along with the child actually, in case you don't know either of the language and you're opting for such a language. The pace is quite slow. You yourself will be able to help your child, to teach your child how to write, how to read, how to identify or pronounce a word. Because videos are there, as Simple Ma'am said, and it's easy enough to pick up on the languages.
One last question, ma'am, on child's pronunciation. So how to improve the child's pronunciation is the question that has come up now.
Okay, so ma'am, child pronunciation is depending on the correction that we do. As and when the child pronounce something incorrect, so we have to correct it. Sometimes being a childhood, we enjoy if a child is saying something incorrect and we say okay, and it comes in the cuteness of a child. Okay, he's saying something incorrect, like for a chocolate he is using something else, and we also understand and we also start using that word. Okay, so don't do that initially up till 2 years or 2.5 years. You are doing it, it's fine. Post that, you should correct your child every time the child is saying that word incorrectly. Okay, for a chocolate or for anything. Okay, and repetition is the only key to improve your child without getting angry, without getting upset about it. I told you yesterday also, you should repeat like this, you will talk like this. This will not help your child. He'll stop talking that word only. because he can't recall that it again. From birth he is saying, or from last 6 months he is saying that word incorrectly. Suddenly you will ask him to correct it up, that would be little tough for him to understand and to imagine it, to pronounce it correctly. He will take time, but it will happen with the repetition itself.
Another question, ma'am. The child is a little conscious while talking to strangers and friends, though the child is master at mother language and in English both. But when he looks at strangers, he's a little conscious. He doesn't open up. Any suggestions for that?
Anuj, you can take it up.
Ma'am, if the child is shy in talking in front of strangers, I mean, probably I would say it's not a very big thing to be worried about. But yes, it's again because the interaction levels are slightly low at this point of time, because of which this shyness is coming up to talk in front of the stranger. But that's okay. That's okay. Nothing to be worried about. You can definitely get into an interaction sessions with someone who is a stranger, and you can become a moderator for your child, and create some kind of communication lines. Now what is happening is that the child is not able to pick up the track of communication between himself or herself and with the stranger. So the parent has to become a moderator in that case. They have to open up the line of communication of the child with the stranger. But do not assume that something is really wrong with your child. Probably you can definitely see that if some other child is coming up, and your own child is not talking to that child, then probably yes, the child may be slightly introvert, or maybe a little hesitant to talk. But as long as you become a moderator and the child is speaking up to someone elder also, it is fine. I would definitely would want to know the age of the child. A 2-year-old child would definitely behave differently to a stranger as compared to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old child. 2-year-old not talking to stranger is perfectly okay. It's not a problem. But yes, 6-year-old should be doing that. If it's not happening for a 6-year-old, then yes, become a moderator between the stranger and your child. Pick up the points of observation where your child interacts with the stranger. Give one of your toy which your child really likes to the stranger whom you would want your child to talk to, and then talk about about that particular toy. So there would be some common point of interaction between the child and the stranger. You need to bring those common points, and the interaction levels will increase. See, same thing happens when the schools are operating. The teachers are all strangers to the child, right? But they pick up common points. They will play with them. They'll pick up a ball and ask about colors, what color this ball is or what color this toy is. And that is the way the communication channel opens between the teacher, who is a stranger, and a child. Same way you also can do it. It can be easily covered up.
So I think that is all that we have for the questions. So thank you everyone, Shweta ma'am, Anuj sir, Hamsa ma'am, for answering every doubt and every questions that were asked by our parents. We had a very good discussion here, a very healthy one. And I hope this was very, very
I think there's some disconnection with
Right. So-
yeah, right. Anyways, I think she might have got disconnected, but yes, thanks a lot, for having this session, having us over here in this session. And perhaps certain points we might have missed out. Some points are still coming on FB. Don't be worried that we are ignoring your question or we are not answering to your question. It is just that certain questions are very one-to-one for a child. Discussing in this platform may not be very productive, so we will ensure that we reach back to these parents and talk to them about the specific questions we had earlier. We have sent out a form also. in that also there were certain questions which are very specific to a child. So we will reach back to you and talk about your particular concern. What could have benefit all of us in the larger group? Those questions we have picked up and we have talked about it. And there will be more, these kind of webinars also coming up. After 2 weeks, we have a webinar with one of the very prominent personalities who is in the COVID task force, who would talk about how to manage COVID if the next third wave is coming up, how to manage our children on that. So we are planning to do various webinars with doctors and prominent personalities so that our parents can benefit from it. Apart from that, there will be workshops on writing also. That's what I believe is being also planned out. So this platform, we will use it with the parents more and more, and we would try to directly answer their questions and concerns. Simple ma'am, your link was broken in between. So
yes, there was a network issue. Thank you, dear parents, for staying with us. And just believe that preschool teaching is not easy. Teachers take a lot of pain in teaching. And this year you get an opportunity to actually see and teach the children on your own also. So believe in it, go for it. If you have not yet opted, spend some time after the class hours also and teach the children how you see the teachers mingling and appreciating each move, each step, each milestone. Whenever the child does anything good, be it even a tiny bit of it, you should appreciate the fact that they are learning. They are learning with the entire modern way of teaching, the e-learning, digital learning. This is how 2019, 20, 21, these 2 years have showed us. And wish you all a very good year and hope we open up, as Sir was mentioning, in the next 3-4 months. We should meet physically also. But till then, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and we'll keep meeting during these webinars and workshop. Attend each of it. It'll be very informative and you can shoot direct questions to the expert panel that we'll have, and we'll try and answer everything which bothers you. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
thank
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
For hosting. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you, everyone.